Hello YouTube, this is Mastats. I'm glad you are back over here on this side of YouTube and to check out this channel. If you haven't done so, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and of course like the video if you like what I do over here. So today we are going to look at something called rational expression. Well, the only thing I can say about rational expression is that it is an expression in which the numerator and denominator are polynomials. And I'm sure you already saw that in chapter 5. We had a lot of fun working with polynomials, right? And so right now we're going to be doing rational functions. And the best way to do it is by doing some exercises. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna do something very interesting, very something I already used to. Let's see, I'm gonna use this one. Where is that one actually? Let's say we have x minus 2. Oh, we have a f of, oops. I guess that's the line. I'm not supposed to go beyond that line. All right. Let's say we have f of x equals to x minus 2 over 2x squared plus 3x plus 8. And they say to find f of 3. What that means is all you're gonna do is whatever you have here in this polynomial or in this rational function, wherever you see x, you're gonna replace it with the number 3, right? With the number 3. So I'm gonna say f of 3, you see, because there was x here, now I put 3 in it. So that means everywhere I see x is gonna be 3. So I have 3 minus 2. Just a quick tip. I don't know if most teachers are like that, but when I was growing up, when you're writing the function, make sure the horizontal bar that divides the numerator and the denominator is in between the equal sign. Yeah, even in the books, that's exactly how they do it. So I don't know if your teacher is gonna be, picky about it, but always try to do that if you can remember it. And then I'm gonna have 2 times 3 squared plus 3 times 3 plus 8. So 3 minus 2 is equal to 1 over 2 times 3 squared. 3 squared is what? Is equal to 9 plus 3 times 3 is equal to 9 plus 8. And so f of 3 is going to be equal to 1 over 2 times 9 is 18. 18, right? 18 plus 9 is 27 plus 8 is equal to 35. So at the end of the day, the f of 3 for this rational function is equal to 1 over 35. And that is your answer for this one. As you can see, pretty straightforward and very simple. Now we're gonna do the second exercise, and this one actually is we're gonna find the domain. I know I made a video. I would have to look for it, but if I don't find it, I want you to go back because I'm sure you're gonna find it. I made a video on the domain, abscissa, ordinate, range, and everything else. So I think it was a know your terms video. Do you guys remember which axis the domain is associated with? If you said x-axis, it is correct. So the domain is the x-axis and it's also called the abscissa. So in this case, let's say we're gonna do this kind of exercise. We have something very simple. Let's say we have that number right here, a of x is equal to 5x plus 2 over x squared plus 2x minus 24. Now, how do you find the domain of a function? Do you guys know? Because I know I did make a video on that. Well, to find the domain of that other function, all you wanna do is you wanna look and see is what is the denominator equal to. So when you make the denominator equal to 0, what do you get out of that, right? So this is how I find the domain. So the domain is basically the domain actually must exclude values for x, right? Which makes the denominator equal to 0. So in this case, I don't need to worry about the numerator, but just the denominator. So in this case, I'm going to look at x squared plus 2x minus 24 equal to 0. And last time we made a video and I told you guys how to factor out polynomials, right? Remember we had a trinomial and we had to factor it out. So how do we factor out this one? Remember, if the coefficient of the highest degree of exponent is 1, which in this case it is this one right here, 1, all you have to do is look at this number in the middle. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna see which number, when you add together, it gives you 2. When you add two numbers together, it gives you 2. And when you multiply them, when you multiply two numbers together, it gives you 24. Where there's only two numbers, where you add them together, you get 2. And when you multiply them, you get 24. And that will be 6 and 4, right? So in this case, I'm going to rewrite 2x as x squared plus 6x minus 4x minus 24. I'm just writing that right now. And so don't forget as well, always write the biggest number with the sign of the answer. So in this case here, we have a positive, let me use this one actually. Here we have a positive 2x, right? So I'm gonna write the positive sign for 6 instead of 4. All right, now let's go back and then let's finish this one. So I have x plus 6x minus 4x minus 24, and that equals to 0. So now I can just put them together, right? I'm going to say x squared plus 6x plus minus 4x minus 24. Actually, no. I'm just going to write it like that, actually. I'm just going to put it like that, too. I must say minus 4x plus 24 equals to 0. And so I'm going to factor out the x on the side. So I get x plus 6. And I'm going to factor out 4. So I get 4x plus 6. And so I have x plus 6 on both sides. So I get x plus 6. Factor out x minus 4 equals to 0. And here I have x equals to 6, or to negative 6, or x equals to 4. So that means the two numbers that x cannot be equal to would be negative 6 and 4. Now, what is the domain? Well, the domain for this one now is basically, if you forgot, go back to my first videos, the review of functions and how you write domain and the set and things like that. And the way you write the domain, you're going to say the domain is x such that x is different than negative 6 and 4. Alright, and this is how you write the domain. So that is the domain of this function. It's going to be every number of x such that x is not 6 and x is not 4. Now let's move to the next one, to the last exercise we're going to do. We're going to do what we call simplification. So let's simplify 3. So we're going to simplify 3. We're going to simplify 3x 3n minus 9x 2n over 12x 2n. So how do we simplify this rational function? Well, very simple. We did that earlier in that previous in chapter 5, or when we talk about polynomial, and we learned that first thing you have to do, guys, is break it down. So we have 3. What is x power of 3n? What basically is x to the power of n times x power of n times x power of n minus 9. What is 9? 9, because 9 is a perfect square, you can do what? You can do 3 times 3, and you have x power of n times x power of n over 12. What is 12? 12 is 4 times 3, right? 4 times 3. So it's 4 times 3, x power of n times x power of n. Now, because this is the division, and we have a subtraction on the top, we need to factor out first. So what do we have here in common on the top? Well, we have 3n on common, and we have 2 n's on both sides. So we have n and xn times xn. And what's left? We only have 1 xn minus, we have a 3 left, right? So this 3 is gone and that 3 is gone, so we have only 1 3 up there. And actually, yes, and on the bottom we have a 3 and a xn and a xn and a 4. So now we can factor out these 3 right here, and we are left with xn minus 3 over 4. And that is your answer. So Remember, guys, this is the way you have to actually factor out how we always simplify rational function. So, guys, uh, I'm gonna stop it right here. That's it for today. If you have any questions, don't forget to put it in the comment section below, and I will do my best to make another video where I can explain just that part that you don't understand in a broader way, and hopefully make it easier for you guys. This is Mastat. Hope to see you guys again. Until then, Mastat out.